Hey, what's up, YouTube? Back at it again with some more wacky Chaos Zero Nightmare nonsense. Today we are going to take a look at the Great Rift first part that we've got currently available. Obviously, we've only got a little bit of time left before the update happens on Tuesday. As you all know, I am not a huge endgame content person in this game, so for me, this is literally just me kind of taking a look at it and doing what I think would be an interesting build. Obviously, the way this basically works is we have to deal with the Punisher of Resentment, who has a two team fight. Words are hard. We obviously start our front half off with a Void team, and our second half is a Passion team. All damage done and extra damage done by Passion and Void cards is increased by 15%. Each time a card is discarded, it's 5% additional damage to all linked cards, which stacks up to 30 times. All EP gain has been increased by 100%. I'm sorry, all EP gain has been decreased by 100%. I can't read either. Don't worry about it. 0.5% same season save data score bonus to final score maximum in 6 stacks. So obviously, if all of your teams are using seasonal data that all match, you'll gain a boost to your total overall score. It does remove all of the stress that you receive after an attack. And of course, there's a max ceiling. This is these two big changes here are kind of a big deal from the last couple of seasons. There's a max ceiling to the amount of score that can be acquired from the damage amount inflicted by a single attack card, which was kind of a big deal in Season 2. And you will gain a combat score based on the damage amount, and then once you reach a certain threshold, the score you receive in this manner will be gradually reduced. This is to sort of combat a lot of the point grinding that they did in Season 1. So a lot of it works out that some of these changes are all very new, considering all of the things that happened in Season 1 and Season 2. As for normal, you are limited to a total of 10 turns on your Vanguard and 5 turns on your Rear Guard. Any turns that you have left over from your Vanguard will increase the Rear Guard's turn limit to a maximum of 5. So you could technically, if you were really good and have a really good first couple of hands, you could have like 8 turns left over and then have like a full 10 turns on your rear guard. It's just a matter of kind of how strong your Vanguard is. Typically, you're going to get about halfway through before moving on to the rear guard. At least in most cases, that's kind of what you want to aim for. That being said, my current teams are as such. We have Adelheid, Rin, or Leia on our Vanguard, and Haida Marine 9 Narja on our rear guard. This allows me to kind of play towards what I've been generally doing for the most part. I am currently working on a Chizuru Rei build as well, so that I can focus on them being in a support position, giving Chizuru content to like just go ham with Shadow Blades, allowing Adelheid and Rei to kind of buff and shield up while Chizuru just kind of multi-target hits and just goes to town. Anyway, this is the team I have gone with. So for the Vanguard, you've got shields through multiple copies of Once Upon a Time and Protect Us, as well as gaining a guaranteed teddy with return from Friends with Fairy Tales, a truth behind the story that gives us a damage and shield increase on Doggy and Teddy by 100% for a turn. And of course, a persona that allows us to draw 1, and when an attack card is drawn, to morale for the turn. She's currently using a Key of Sleep, which gives us the ability to do 40% damage to all attack cards. We have, of course, our Chains of Obsession, which gives us the ability to, when using attack cards, reduce our HP but gain a fixed shield. And of course, our general I didn't get anything better amorphous cube. I do also have a fairly solid attack version, but we're going to go in with the defense version of Adelheid just for this, since it is technically a boss fight. I have multiple versions of Rin that I can utilize here. Unfortunately, I think this is probably the one that I'm going to go with. This is a really shitty deck. It works because of all of the extra card draw that I get with Dark Mist Inner Art, but it's also a very, 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 very old Season 1 build that I don't know how well this is going to hold up, but I think this is the deck we're going to give a shot to and see what happens. And finally, our Orlea is going in with a Dream of the Devoured to allow for exhausted cards, which is going to be our attack creature, and Revelations of Futility that give us when an attack card is used, you gain fixed shield. Anytime you gain shield, it's increased by 50%, and all heal is increased by 50%. You have 12% attack and 12% defense. This was all purely a Season 2 build, but I think it'll work very well kind of in the back end for the Vanguard. For the rear guard, we have Haida Marie going hard in the paint with Effulgent Blades and the Effulgent expansion, giving us a bunch of additional Effulgent Blades, all of which can be drawn, linked, and then fired off with Effulgent Compression or a Thread of Light for triple the damage. She's also using a second method, a Reinforced Combat Suit that if there is no shield, gain is fixed shield. And if a card of this unit is discarded, you gain an additional 100% damage amount until the next attack card is manually used once per turn. An Amorphous Cube, because of course Cube. Our 9 is currently focused on as many copies of Fighting Spirit as possible. Now, unfortunately, it is the Massacre version of Hue, which is the AoE version. But she is also currently using Dagger that Trick the Shadows, a Starlight Cloak, which reduces flat damage, and of course another Amorphous Cube. I have another version of what is basically a Fatal Strike deck that's currently utilizing a Harp of Conflict and the Verdant Day, but I don't believe that this is boss ready. I think this is probably my best boss deck that I've got. And of course, with Narja, I'm just going hard in the paint, utilizing the RFS 17 for the additional critical chance on card that cost 0, which are her Shackles of Hunger card, as well as whenever mealtime is actually at 0. Fragmented of Empty Void is giving me the ability to mulligan my hand to get me the cards I actually want in my starting hand for turn 1. And a Quantum Collector that also has a unique buff that says at the start of the turn, if you are in a state of owning any amount of shield, which you will do without a hide, you will do 100% fixed damage to all enemies. So this is kind of my base idea. We're going to just kind of poke at hard mode, see what it looks like, give it a shot, see how it works, and we'll go from there. Obviously, I don't have everybody fully geared out right now because this is purely just a matter of this is what I'm building, not so much can we actually, do good on this fight. Like, will we break a good number? Maybe, who knows? That's hard to say. What am I? Hold on. What was it? 4 stacks. Got it. So the problem is she doesn't actually have. She doesn't have stance right now. So we want shield gain. Okay, he's not going to do any damage now. Blunt weapon. When ephemeral activates for this card, follow a hero to wall enemies. Let's blessing. Yeah, again, we didn't really do much with that. That's fine. Okay, so that's what we need to do. We need to burn that to get rid of hero. I understand. That's fine. There's Will. All right, we have a sturdy, which is good enough. We get another sturdy. No, but we can get a level 2 swifty. We got a spear. So we don't want that. So we're going to burn that at the very end of the turn. Which is right now. Dark Mist. Forbidden. Dark Mist. Destruction. Unfortunately, that is the one we wanted, but we're not gonna be able to use it because we have no AP left. Well, she still retains, so we can hit and then turn end. You're not really getting the cards we want here. All right, that's good. Can we actually get anything good out of this? We'll burn the sword. That's fine. We have a softy, and well, we have the swifty. We'll hit with swifty. Okay. So now we have a level 3 sturdy, which is kind of a big deal. Draw. Dark Mist. Inner Art. That's fine. We are already looking badly here. Do we really have a shot? I don't think so. I think we have to burn the weapon, take a bunch of damage, protect us, and then turn endo. We're gonna take another hit, which isn't really, this sucks. Yeah, we're kind of out of luck here. We're not really doing a lot of damage with Rin, unfortunately. She's really not built for this fight. At least not yet. I think Chizuru is still gonna be better. Honestly, I think Chizuru's a better build here. I feel like Rin could be good, but we need something that's a little bit more geared towards it. Well, Will of Light to heal. We'll no, because see, we're pretty much dead here. Pull the spear, take the hit. Swifty. Turn end. So that's fine. I think we're doing okay. He has so many stacks of Fallen Hero at this point. He's very close to breaking though, which could be... There it is. Decrease damage taken by 20%, max 4 stacks. Remove when a combatant breaks. Oh, when I break. That's right, I forgot about that. It's fine. I think Adelheide's the one that's going to be the closest to actually breaking right now. No, it looks like it's going to be Rin. So that's probably fine. I don't know. He just takes no damage. Yeah, we're done. Go ahead, do the thing, buddy. Really? Wild, think there's the break. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Very interesting, but here we are. Tongue slash. Everything costs 1. We don't really have, like, we have the health to survive all 10 turns. We just don't have the damage to survive 10 turns. That's our biggest problem here. Ooh. It's fine. Honestly, this was expected. We'll Will of Light to heal and then get a proc on Sturdy. Like, just like that, we're back at full health. So, like, it's possible. I just don't really have... I feel like Rin could do well, but Rin's going to need a very specific build that I don't have currently. Chizuru could also be a really good choice here as well. But let's get to the rear guard and see what we can do with Hidamari. Like, that squad survives. Like, there's at no point does that team die. Now, this team could run a little bit wider, but we'll see what happens. Ooh, do I actually want to lose? Hold on. No, because that's our AP. Let's just toss. I think we're good with the. We're perfectly okay with this hand. So we counterblade, bottomless hunger, and then we fighting spirit for free. Bottomless hunger, gain an AP, swing again. This is fine. All right, we're good to go there. Like, the worst part is we didn't get a single Hidamari card. How do we get rid of, when a card is used manually, increase stress on activation, decrease corroded existence? When hitting more than 7 times at one time with a targeting attack, gradually decrease damage. Got it. I understand. So we're gonna take another hit. Oh yeah, no, we're pretty much done here. Like, these are all gonna go away anyway. But yeah, we're pretty screwed here. Even though we sword range, so we're gonna take a little bit of damage, but not a ton. Now thread is linked, but not, none of these are quietest. Only hero is quietest, so we'll just pop this. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't particularly have a solid combo choice here. Luckily, that was just stressing me out a little. Unfortunately, there's not much else I can do about that. No, we just let those burn out. This hand is basically not letting me do anything. So I understand the mechanic now. He's just constantly tossing these into my hand. So there's literally nothing I can do about it other than just nothing. So yeah, it's fine. I understand the mechanic though. But yeah, I feel like the team could do well, but I think my Vanguard is definitely where I'm having the problems. But I feel like it's a good enough team that it could work if you have the right card build. Rin is definitely a character that is in dire need of a lot of help. Which is very unfortunate because she basically relies on needing to be E6. But overall, I feel like the team can do very well if you give yourself a chance to kind of look at how you're building. That being said, if we do a quick check of our merit ranking on the absolute high end and master, we're seeing a fairly commonality across most teams when it comes to the rear guard, which is Hyder Marie, Nia Cassius. It's a lot of cycling, it's a lot of sword building, and then a lot of just stabbing the crap out of the boss. Rear guard is very similar across the board. In fact, it's generally the only 3 that you see in the rear guard at all. The Vanguard, however, seems to be changing. It looks like Narja is seeing a lot of play. It looks like Veronica is seeing a lot of play. Yeah, Narja Veronica seems to be having a lot of play in the front end. It's rare to see anything else. I'm also going to consider the fact that I think Horo just beat out the number 2 slot like recently. Also, is that the only Magna in like top 50? Looks like it. Yeah, it looks like even in top 20, this is the only Magna I've even seen in a while. So it's good to see that she's seeing a lot of, she's getting some love somewhere. But this is the team that seems to be the very, very specific card draw. It's all about card advantage when it comes to Hyder Marie for a lot of these decks. A lot of Effulgent expansions to just generate as many Effulgent blades in the graveyard as possible. Flip out your Effulgent compression until you get it to turn into what it's supposed to be. What is that save data sticker? Jesus. Y'all. Some people need help. Chat, please help. Please help these people. It's crazy. Mountain of Corpses. I don't actually think I've seen that weapon at all. Increases damage amount of attack cards once per turn. Interesting. What a built Narja. But yeah, it looks like, obviously, for the most part, the popular choice is Hyder Marie, Nia Cassius. A lot of card draw, a lot of swords, and then just blow up at the back end for as many points as possible. It looks like your Vanguard can be anybody, honestly, to some extent. It looks like the popular one is Maribel Veronica Narja, which I could understand also. But for the most part, honestly, I feel like Great Rift has gotten to a point now where any team can technically do very well in sort of setting things up, getting them to where they need to be. But also keep in mind that discarding is going to be an important part of getting your additional damage. So as long as you have something that allows for discard to linked, and then giving yourself a chance to make sure that you have good void damage on the front end. Again, the thing that's really interesting to me is that the void in this team is not even here. Like, they don't even have void on the front end. They're just using passion Instinct, which again, I'm not entirely sure why you wouldn't have Void in here. But again, take that for what you will. Individual models may vary. Obviously, those who are in the master rank have been playing this for a much longer period of time than someone such as myself. As we all know, I am not somebody who wholly enjoys and or does Great Rift very often, but I will say that I do enjoy and I do think that some of the changes that they made for this season's Great Rift were good decisions. What do you guys think? Comment down in below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, bye.